real-time news on the hour, every hour.
Good evening, good afternoon, good night, depending on where you are in the world. What a great day to be a Bitcoiner. What a great day to be in crypto with Bitcoin smashing through the $21,000 level. With Bitcoin having done that, many analysts are asking where to next and how quickly. Some analysts say we should get to 30,000 quicker than we think, because for the first time, the fundamentals and the technicals have aligned. Then on the institutional front, it looks like more institutions are buying Bitcoin, but this time not in the United States. In fact, in the United Kingdom. We're going to take a look at that story. President Trump said to be considering a presidential pardon for Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht. What does this mean, and what is the probability of it actually happening? We'll take a look at that tonight. And then, of course, one of our favorite projects, Koti, launches debit cards and bank accounts. What an exciting time to be alive. What an exciting time to watch this happening. Later on in the show, we're going to talk to an investor who turned $2,000 into $1 million. And we're going to be looking at 6 coins that may make you $1 million. We've got a big show for you here today on CryptoBanter.com, the world's only live streaming, up-to-the-minute crypto news network. We built this for you guys because we know that you guys need live, up-to-the-minute crypto news to make trading decisions, and that's why Crypto Banter exists. Let's take a look at the news just after the break.
Crypto Banter is the world's first interactive social cast for the crypto community. Get the latest news, views, interviews, and live conversations with crypto enthusiasts from around the world. This is where you call in, you make the show, and you bring the banter. That's CryptoBanter.com, where you talk crypto.
Yeah, that's indeed CryptoBanter.com, and that's exactly what it is. It's where you talk crypto, because this channel is actually the world's first crypto call-in channel, which is going to be powered by the community. And if you are watching this on YouTube, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button now, because we've got a major show for you guys today. Not only are we going to be celebrating Bitcoin hitting $25,000 or $21,000 on the route to $25,000, but we're going to be looking at the technicals and the fundamentals. And one analyst on the show says that Bitcoin may hit 25,000 and 30,000 much quicker than we think. Just a reminder that if you are watching this on YouTube, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button now. When you do that, the YouTube algorithm sends this show and this channel to crypto enthusiasts from around the world, and that gets more viewership. We've got a huge show today. We've got big projects on the show. We're going to be talking to Shachaf Bar-Geffen from Koti, the founder of Koti, and that's because they launched crypto debit cards and bank accounts yesterday. We're going to be getting the scoop on that. And then we're going to be looking at 2 other projects. One project is a project that I haven't been too familiar with, but I asked on Twitter, I asked my followers, if they were building today, what would they be building on? And I gave them a choice of blockchains. And you'll see today which one came out tops and which one we should be looking out for. But before we start the show, like every show, let's go to Coach K and let's look at the charts, because Coach K sent me these charts earlier today. It looks like the fundamentals and the technicals have aligned, and they're aligning for a Bitcoin breakout. Coach K, what are you saying about this Bitcoin breakout?
Oh, thanks for having me again. Oh man, I did say that, before we go up, before we go down, in my opinion, we're definitely going to go higher. And I think it's really coinciding really nicely. We broke out of that level that we've been waiting, that all-time high for such a long time. We've been waiting for us to just break this level. And we finally get to that point where we're like, all right, it's gearing up. It's broken out of the triangle, and we were just waiting. And then today it just explodes. And, we see it happen right in front of our eyes, breaks out of the triangle, comes up. And I said, we're probably going to go to this 22,000 to 24,000. I mean, 30,000 is a stretch, but we all know how FOMO works, and that could definitely happen. But then I do expect us to come down in the new year, into Chinese New Year, and then us to take the real big step to the $35,000, $40,000 range. So that's more my prediction. And but in the short term, definitely we're super bullish. The market is very powerful. We went up already today, almost $1,300, and I don't see it really stopping anytime soon. But that being said, guys, stay even keel, stay cool as a cucumber. And what you should really be looking for here is the opportunities to go into altcoins that are going to run right after Bitcoin takes a chill pill. Stuff like Ethereum, Aave, KSM, the two calls that I made the last time I was on the show, they exploded before Bitcoin did. I think they're going to continue on after Bitcoin kind of slows down a bit. Ethereum will go next. Like we've seen other majors like Dash, XLM, XRP, even though I'm not a big fan, it will probably go next because people want a cheap coin. And then we're going to see, all your favorite ICO coins that are coming out. I know you have someone from SpiderDAO on today.
Look at a lot of projects. Coach K, I want to slow you down and I want to look at the old chart. If you look at that chart, that is the chart of Bitcoin hit the all-time high. And if you look closely at that chart, what you'll see is that the last time Bitcoin hit an all-time high was December 17th, 2017. Today we 2 years and 364 days away from that all-time high, and we've just seen another all-time high. Now, before we rush into what's going to happen to altcoins, tell us what's going to happen to Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I put this on my chart about a week, like 3 weeks ago. I said, I think December 18th is the day where we kind of are in top out. I don't know if it's going to be the top out day, but around that time I was saying, and I threw it on my chart. And I mean, if you go on any of my videos on my own show, you'll see that this level has been there for quite some time. And I expect us to, kind of rush up into the Christmas holidays. And then you got to understand the institutional guys that are buying up all the crypto right now, they're going to go on holiday. We're going to all go on holiday. Even if you're like stuck in lockdown, you're still going to like take time with your family and not watch a chart all day. So those guys are going to close up shop, probably take some profit, and then let the rest ride. And then, into the new year, it'll be a little bit slower. So I do expect us to not keep pushing higher. The only thing that I could see happening is because of COVID and because people are at home and they can't leave their houses in some places, we may continue on further and kind of go into a discovery mode where retail right now are probably looking at Bitcoin going, oh my God, these guys have been telling us that it's going to come back. We're right. Holy crap. And they're probably really excited and they're going, maybe I should go back in. I know I got wrecked last time. I probably sold, and now they're like, wait a minute, this is a real deal. And I think that's the really big thing here.
I want to say that my prediction here is, and it's not based on any charts or anything, it's just based on my understanding of the market, is that now that Bitcoin has psychologically broken that 20,000, I don't know if you noticed, but when it broke 20,000 this time, it flew and it almost went to 20,800 on some exchanges. And I'm expecting that we're going to get much bigger candles. I'm expecting $500 candles. I'm expecting $1,000 candles. I'm expecting really big candles as we go much, much, much higher, because I think that psychological barrier has been broken. I think that, we anchored ourselves. We had this all-time high at around 19,800 or 19,850, depending on where you looked. And that was like a psychological barrier. But now Bitcoin has smashed that on big volume. And I think that now we're going into a phase that we've never seen. That said, I think when the pullback happens, it's going to be very, very, very scary. I think that, we're going to get a sell-off. The higher you go up, the quicker you fall. I think we're going to get that sell-off. If we get a sell-off now, based on your charts, Coach K, what are we looking at?
Okay, so I want to show you guys some previous levels. So a lot of people don't talk about this when they're talking about technical levels. And, I keep talking about this level that we can come to retest this level. And everyone's like, why? And I'm like, watch. Look how many times we've held this level in the past. This is a weekly chart, okay? So it's going back very far, all the way back to our last bull run. This is a level that held from all the way back from January 2018. We came and retested. We couldn't break it. We couldn't break it. We couldn't break it. We couldn't break it. All of a sudden, we slice right through it, and we just go right through it and don't retest. That's why I'm saying we could dump to this level right here to retest. Now, what else would that be?
We've got some listeners who are not viewers. When you talk about that level, what is that level?
It's the level of resistance. So it's basically on a chart. When we have a part of there's obviously when we have bulls come in, there's bears. Bulls are the ones who want to buy the price and go up. We have bears that will sell the price. And so it kept coming to this technical level, and they would come in and they would start to sell, right? So basically what this means is that you have all of these people come in the past and they would sell at this level. And then all of a sudden we have so many buyers come in on this one weekly candle and we smash it and never came back to touch that level ever again. What that means is we could have a handle. Now this, if you really look at it in another way, if I draw right here a little bit of a cup, this would make a handle. Okay. So what would end up happening is we have this massive 3-year cup and handle. I mean, it's not technically exactly what you'd want and what it would look like, but this is something that I'm seeing just as potentially something that could happen. So it could turn into this gigantic cup and handle, pull us back here very quickly, and then right around February,
pull us back to 12,000. Am I reading your chart correctly that you're talking about a pullback to 12,000?
Yeah. I'm talking about the pullback to 12,000. I know if you're watching this and you're new in crypto, you're probably like, oh my God, that would like wreck me. I'm scared. You know what you do, guys? If you've been in since on this pull up, just set your stop loss and profit in lower levels. So if it does happen, you will never lose. That's the best thing you could ever do.
I wonder what happened to Nervous Neil. I don't know if you remember, but Nervous Neil called in. I wonder, Nervous Neil, if you are watching, please call us back. Tell us what you did with your position. All right, let's just look at the news driving that. So you're looking very much at the technicals. Let's look at the fundamental news that's driving it. I'm going to pull up 1 or 2 slides here on my screen. I think the first bit of news that's driving the buy is this Rafa Investment, who allocated 2.5% of their fund to Bitcoin in November. Now, if you ask me, this is actually just a PR stunt. So I think what happened here was, this is a UK-based institution. It's not an American institution. And they said that they're going to invest up to 2.5% of their fund, which is about $15 million, into Bitcoin, and they're moving it out of gold, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think that a $15 million buy by an institution warrants any type of headline. And I think what they said is, hold on, we can now track this whole Bitcoin market if we just come out with news that we're buying $15 million worth of Bitcoin. What do you think, Coach?
I think the $15 million when you have MicroStrategy, I think they freed up $480 million to buy more Bitcoin. It's a nominal amount. But what I also will say is the fact that they are doing it, it shows people that are out there that are maybe non-believers or non-coiners. It shows them that this is real, this is legitimate. You have big institutions that they follow. You know, it was TD Ameritrade and it was Grayscale. Now they see all these other bigger institutions. Maybe they know them, maybe they don't, but they see companies come in the space and they're loading up on Bitcoin, and they're probably sitting there at home going, wow, this is real. And I think that's the psychological side of crypto right now, is they saw the bull run, they saw this massive pullback to 3K, and they thought it was a dead thing for the 100th time. You know, people say it over and over again. And then it came back this time, and now it's been in the news. It was in the news the last time. So this time it kind of legitimizes what's going on. And then, they see the chart. Yeah.
Coach K, I want to just read you something. In the statement, they said this. I said, we see this as a small but potent insurance policy against the continuing devaluation of the world currencies. This is what they said. I think their thinking is right, but I think that they are taking the mickey out of the crypto community and taking a cheap shot by investing a very small part of their fund, $15 million, and then making a very big noise about it. So I think just looking for PR.
I think they're kind of just doing it slowly, and I think MicroStrategy did it slowly as well. They want to let people see that it's something they take seriously at the start. $15 million is not a little bit of money, obviously, but for some of these firms it is. But it just shows that they're interested and that it's real. And I think a lot of people forget that to a lot of the institutions before, in the last 3 years ago, this was a joke to them. They're like, yeah, okay, Bitcoin, whatever. Now they've seen what it can do, and they've seen us print 22% of the world's US dollar supply in a year. They've seen Corona and how paper money may not be the best thing, and they're looking at crypto and they're going, wow, this is a thing. And in Canada and Thailand and even Laos, all these guys like Cambodia, they're all building their own central bank digital currencies. So it's quite an interesting fact that it's getting legitimized to the large investors and to the hedge funds. And I'm working with a project, and we're talking to like guys like Questrade and DBS Bank, and they're taking it very seriously. So it's a different mindset. It's a lot. It's not just retail money this time. It's smart money. It's people that have large institutions.
It's smart money, and it's also hodlers. I think in other Bitcoin news, we see that Mt. Gox creditors now have a new rehabilitation plan. It looks like what they're talking about now for the second time is actually returning the Bitcoin to people, not returning the dollar equivalent that they invested. That's unbelievable news, I think, if it can get through. But we've got to remember that Japan is extremely, extremely, extremely bureaucratic, maybe even more bureaucratic than the United States. So I wouldn't be too excited if I was them. But for me...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just saying a lot of people were saying to me, oh my God, Coach, like this is going to dump Bitcoin. And I was like, nah, man. I was like, first of all, this isn't going to happen overnight. Second of all, they did say that they're only going to give people the amount in dollar value. Last time that they were talking about this during Kobayashi saying he's selling off some of the Bitcoin from Mt. Gox, I thought that, and if we go back and we look at the reports and things, they were selling off some of it. So what happened to the Bitcoin they were selling off? Are they going to give you all your Bitcoin back? Are they giving some of their Bitcoin back? Are they giving dollar value back in Bitcoin? So I really am curious to see what they come out with. And because of so much mixed news in the past, it's really hard to get a good idea of what really is actually happening. We need to get the real facts before we can all jump to conclusions. This is why you look at a chart, guys, because charts will never fail you. And do like and subscribe to this video, guys.
Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, because we have a lot coming up for you. One of the segments that I'm most excited about is we've got two amazing communities here. If you guys are watching this, hit the like button, the subscribe button. Of course, the first community is the COTI community.
Yeah, baby.
The real gem, and we're going to talk to Shachaf Bar-Gevin. He's here on the line with us all the way from Israel. We're going to talk about the big announcement that they made yesterday. But I do, and then we have another huge community here today. I don't know how much you know about Elrond, but this one is absolutely unstoppable. If you've been watching this token, if you've been seeing what's going on, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. We've got two of the founders of these hottest projects right here on our show here today. And then later on, we're talking to a guy who turned $2,000 into $1 million on crypto. He's a Uniswap trader. I'd love to know what's going on with him. And we have a little bonus in the waiting room. We've got Nervous Neil in the waiting room. He's obviously a regular. He's watching the show. Before we go there, I just want to talk about the other bit of big news, which I think is big news for the community.
Huge news.
And that is that Trump may be considering pardoning Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht. I don't know if you've read the book. I don't know if you know the story, but it's a crazy story. Now, I urge you to read the book.
Yeah. Read the book, find out. Free Ross. This is big. If you've been in the crypto community for a while and you're someone who, you don't have to be an anarchist or anything. You just have to think of doing the right thing. This guy's sitting in jail for basically, he built a marketplace for crypto. I don't think it was his fault that people were putting, illegal drugs and other stuff on there. But at the same time, like, he got thrown away in jail for life, pretty much. Like, you can't come out. And I think they should pardon the guy. I mean, Bitcoin is now a real thing. Crypto's a real thing. He shouldn't be sitting behind, in a jail cell when there's murderers, there's rapists, there's people that get out of jail. They've done far less horrible things in the world. And I really hope that Trump does the right thing with this. And even if he leaves office after all the crazy stuff that's happened, do the right thing for this kid, because he really didn't do something so horrible. There's a lot of stories, but I don't really believe a lot of the negative stuff.
At least that's our opinion, and I guess there are many when it comes to Ross Ulbricht. I have seen his mother at lots of the crypto conferences getting people to sign petitions. It's not nice to see a person's mom whose son is there for life, and she's dedicated her whole life to getting him out there. Coach K, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to pull out a chart for me. The chart that I want you to pull out is the COTI chart. While Coach K is pulling it out, I'm going to remind you guys that this is, first of all, like and subscribe. We need you to like and subscribe. I can see the numbers are going up. Our viewership is doubling every time we come on air. We're building you guys an amazing station, but I need you guys to like and subscribe if you want more of this. Then I want to remind you that this is a call-in show. And the easiest way for you to call in, and you can, of course, remain anonymous. You don't have to tell us who you are, is just by going to our website, which is www.cryptobanter.com. There's a button there. You click the button, you'll get into the waiting room, and then you can decide whether you want to share your real identity or whether you don't. We're giving you the chance to talk to Shachaf Bar-Gevin. We're giving you the chance to talk to Benjamin Minchu, and he's from Elrond. So much going on here today. We need you guys to keep liking and keep subscribing. Coach, I want to see the chart for Koti. Tell me what I'm looking at.
you're looking at a textbook double bottom. I mean, you guys can see I put this on there. I don't know what exactly the date. It was around sometime in November. I was looking at Koti and I'm like, man, look at this beautiful double bottom. I told the guys in Spectre group, I told the guys in my group, and they were just like, yeah, that looks really good. And I said it was probably going to come to this level. We just barely got to that level, but now we have another trade potentially happening with an edge to edge. So how edge to edge trades work? We have bullish Chiku spin. This is the Chiku spin right here. We have a cloud that's very thick and flat on the top. We have a TK cross, which is this green level, which is the Tenkin over the Kijin. So we're bullish on this side. So what we're looking for now is a break into the cloud. So if we close in this cloud, I'm going to show you guys a trade that you should look to set up. And you would put your stop loss either at the bottom of the cloud or a little bit below the red line. And you're going to look to actually go and take profit at the top of the cloud. So if Koti does,
where is the top of the cloud? Give me the numbers.
It's at 515 sats. So we're looking at Bitcoin value.
I want to say something about Koti. So when I look at Koti, it's a hidden gem, and we're going to talk to Shachaf Bagevin today, and we're going to talk about a real project that survived the 2017 bull market, survived the bear market after that, is still around, is doing incredible things, and today are here on our news, on our show, to break some news. So let's take a look at that breaking news, and then Coach K will bring you back straight after Shachaf.
Breaking news on Crypto Banter, where you break the news.
Crypto Banter is the place to do it. If you want to talk to communities, then of course Crypto Banter is the place to do it. Shachaf, can you hear me? Because I can't see you on the screen. Shachaf seems to be having technical problems. I'm going to try get him on another call. But Koti, which is a hidden gem in my opinion, announced that they're launching debit cards and they're launching bank accounts. They're doing this in partnership with a company called Simplex. Seems very exciting, and I want to get the first-hand. Information. Let me see if I can bring Shachaf back. Shachaf, are you there? I see him trying to connect. Alrighty. While we're waiting for Shachaf, I think what we're going to do is move on to the next part of the show, and that is a tweet that I posted the other day. And the tweet was a very simple tweet, and really it was to try and find out which chains builders in the space are considering. And the results for me were quite funny, because I sent out the tweet, and in the tweet I asked builders whether they'd consider building on Cardano, on Elrond, and the one that came up from a lot of our viewers was Elrond. And that's one that, to be honest, I haven't really been following very much. So what I decided to do was to give you guys a treat, and that is to get Benjamin Minchu, who is the founder of Elrond, onto the show. It looks like Shachaf is back. So what we're going to do, Benjamin, we're going to try and bring Shachaf back on, because I know he's got other commitments, and then we're going to bring you on afterwards. I know that you've got a vibrant community. If your community is there, let them hit the like button and the subscribe button. Shachaf, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Amazing. So Shachaf, I see that you had technical difficulties, but I guess today we're going to talk about the big news, and that is the Koti Pay debit card and bank account. Tell us a little bit about this debit card and bank account.
Well, first of all, isn't that amazing news, huh?
It's amazing news. I just wonder how you did it, actually, to be honest.
Well, we're very resourceful here. But we've been working on this for quite a while now with partners at Simplex, the Visa network, some banks, and so on and so forth. But this is more than just a card. I hope you've noticed this is a full ecosystem. You get fiat inside the app, which is essentially a bank account, a crypto-friendly bank account where you can sell crypto and put the deposit within the app. You can buy crypto from this bank account. You can send money around. This is literally a bank account which is crypto friendly, and of course it comes with a card, so you can spend whatever you have on this account.
Okay, let's go slowly, because I want to make sure that when you talk about a bank account and when I talk about a bank account, we're talking about the same thing. So for me, a bank account is somewhere where I can deposit money or transfer fiat money just by entering an account number and not having to go into crypto. Can I do that with the new bank account?
Absolutely. You can do that. You have an IBAN, and you can do that, and you can send money from this account anywhere in the world.
So you get an IBAN, you create this. So I take it you're not going to have branches. So it's an online bank account. You can
Absolutely.
deposit money into the online bank account, and then you can buy any crypto that you want, or do you have to then buy Koti?
You can buy any crypto that you want. And not only that, if you sell crypto, any crypto, you can put that deposit in this bank account, which is usually the hardest part, right? When you sell crypto, how do you send it to your bank? So you can do that with this bank account.
Okay, where is this bank? I mean, did you have to get a banking license? Is this, I mean, where is this bank domiciled? When I get an IBAN number, where am I actually sending the money to? Where is this legislated?
It's a European bank. It comes with an EMI license and through a partnership with Simplex that we've put in place.
Wow. And just what's Simplex's role in this whole thing? I know that Simplex do the credit cards and stuff like that for Binance and some of the other big exchanges. Where do they come in? Who holds this banking license?
It's the EMI license is their license for now, and we've partnered with them through this license.
Alrighty, so now I deposit money into this virtual bank account using my IBAN number. It's sitting in an account. I can then buy any cryptocurrencies. Then I can send cryptocurrencies directly from this bank account. What is there, a screen, a user interface, which allows me to then almost
exactly.
like a wallet interface?
It's absolutely that. So you have your Koti Viper app with it. Usually in these apps you have your Bitcoin balance, Koti balance, whatever. So now you're going to have your fiat balance as well. And with this, you can, if you sell crypto from the wallet or from another wallet, you can send the deposit to this IBAN. You can send money from this IBAN anywhere. It's as big as you can imagine it.
Shagaf, this is huge news, and I don't think anybody's done this before, right? Has anyone merged traditional banking services with a payment network and then a crypto network?
Well, to some extent, you can say maybe PayPal did it recently. To some extent, it's different than what we're doing. And then any day, I'm happy to be compared to PayPal. I mean, we're definitely pioneering this right now. I know there are some, probably others will follow, but that's great. I mean, love to see the space grow.
And Shagaf, are you taking individual applications for these bank accounts and business applications? Is this a business banking thing also? Are you bringing businesses onto the crypto network or gateway?
That's a great question. So yes, you can. It's both a business solution and a consumer or retail solution. It's a different application process, but we're taking both right now. It's quite amazing. The first 10 seconds when we opened the application, we already had 400 people joining. 10 seconds from when we opened the application.
Shagaf, this is huge news. And I mean, I've read the crypto headlines today, and this hasn't been, in the big headlines today. How can this be such huge news? You've effectively you've merged the traditional bank with a crypto bank. You've given people a card, which has been very difficult to do in most jurisdictions. Why isn't this the biggest news on the crypto airwaves today?
Well, I guess, Bitcoin reached an all-time high. That usually is the biggest news anywhere. But it's fine. I mean, what we've learned is that it pays well to play the long game. We've always played the long game with Koti, and that always worked.
Yeah, I can see that the viewers are going crazy. I'm coming to that. I've got everyone loving Koti, loving EGLD, which is coming up next, EGLD. So much going on. All right, Shagaf, what else can we expect? I know you are pretty secretive about this. What else can we expect from Koti? I know you guys made an announcement or made a few announcements that a lot of real world vendors, not crypto related vendors, were starting to use your payment gateway. Maybe recap on that and then just give us a little roadmap going forward so we know what to expect.
Sure. So I think two big things. One, as you've mentioned, we've recently had an amazing take from merchants to Koti, including some very, very big names like BYBIT. We are the first crypto project we're working with, and they're doing anywhere like $2 billion a year in processing. Soft Gaming, Kindred Group, and so on and so forth. I can already tell you, and those who follow our Explorer can see that we're having a tremendous month in terms of processing. So for sure, we're going to break our record in December. And this will grow from this point onward. And this is great news for our community because it means that the staking rewards grow with it. And merchants need to buy their tokens to pay their fees. So that means buybacks and organic demand for Koti in the market. So that's one big thing. The second thing is our crypto volatility index that should launch by the year's end. And this is an amazing thing. I think we've seen it in action last time I was in the show. We've seen it. I told you, Bitcoin will go down before it will go up, and that happened, that night. And I only knew that because of the index. So those who understand volatility and want to trade it and doesn't necessarily want to commit to one direction, but do want to commit to the fact that the market is going to be volatile, are going to have a huge day when this trading platform is out, and this is coming this year's end, and we already have some great names involved, but we'll tell you about that more next time.
I must say, I think it's amazing that you bring another instrument into crypto that we can trade. Like, we don't have enough coins to trade. We can now also trade a new volatility index. What's the anticipated launch date of the CVIX?
If all goes well, before this year ends. So
if all goes well, we hope that all goes well. Shachaf, last point. You mentioned that your processing was increasing as per the Block Explorer. What kind of volume are you guys doing on the COTI network today?
So last month, we did $12 million in merchants volume, in processing volume. I know that's real live merchants using the system. I don't think a lot of companies do that these days. And we already broke that this month. So we're going to see more.
Wow. So all going very well at Koti. If our viewers want to go and get in line or apply for one of these amazing bank accounts with a debit card, where can they go?
Either through our Android app that was out last month, or just type in pay.koti.io, and from this point you can probably apply easy.
Shachaf, now I don't know if you read it, well, I'm sure you did because I know you're an avid user of this website, but Pornhub is not allowed to, Visa and MasterCard have pulled away from Pornhub. Will viewers of the show who get Koti cards, will they be able to use those cards on Pornhub? I've got the lines going crazy here. Everyone's asking what they're going to do with their Pornhub accounts. Can you guys, can our viewers use the Koti card on Pornhub?
Well, first of all, I never heard of this website, never. But if I did, no, you cannot actually. Our cards will run on the Visa network, and if Visa is not allowed, then you can't. But I think Pornhub either already do it right now or will, obviously, in the coming days, will start accepting crypto, so you can always use that.
All right, Shachaf, it's been amazing having you on the show, as always.
Thank you.
We wish you only continued success, and we wish the token price would go up, because I tell you one thing about the Koti token price. I know you don't look at the Koti token price as a founder. Every time I speak to you, you tell me you don't look at the price, but I know that every time the price gets to around 7 or 8 cents, the whole market collapses. There's always like a market moving event that collapses it. So I really hope that this is the one where the price can actually start to reflect it. I think that it's $32 or $33 million market cap. I haven't looked very recently. I think Koti must be one of the most undervalued projects out there, given the real world adoption and what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I never sold a Koti, so I never look at the price.
Amazing. And I've got another surprise for our viewers. I don't know if you guys remember Nervous Neil. Nervous Neil called in. Nervous Neil, you're back. I saw that you're in the waiting room. You called us at 18,000 on Bitcoin. You had bought your Bitcoin 18,500. We told you to sell them, and now the price is at 20,000. Did you sell?
Ron, I've got my lucky cap on, and I'm drinking water, not champagne yet, but I decided not to sell. How's it, Coach?
Good, man. Good.
So I'm feeling pretty good.
You must be feeling better.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. As you can see from my name here, I'm still pretty nervous, but I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm part of the up crew.
Neil, are you gonna sell now? Are you looking to sell now, or are you looking to hold this position? What's your next move? I'm keen to know.
Run, I think the bug is bitten, and following the show and following all the guys on Twitter, I think I'm going to apply the advice of HODL. Hearing throughout the show about buying on a monthly basis, I think I've got my base in now. I'm up, and I think I'm going to HODL.
All righty, that's amazing news, Neil. Thanks. Keep us updated on your positions. Let us know if you start getting into altcoins. We're going to move on to the next segment, and this is a big segment. This is a community, a huge community. I've never seen a community that's as vibrant as the one from the Elrond project. I must say, I must admit that I'm going to take responsibility for saying that when I tweeted this tweet, and it said, if you were building today, what would you build on? And this was a follow-up to a previous tweet. I thought that the big blockchain names here would get all the votes. But if you look at the comments on my Twitter is at CryptoManRun. There's one project that really, really, really sticks out. And not only does it stick out here, but it's got an extremely, extremely, extremely vibrant community. The project is called Elrond. I've got Benjamin Minchu on the line with me. I'm going to bring him into the show. Benjamin, welcome to Crypto Banter.
Hello there. Really great to be here, Ran. How's it going?
Okay, I've got to ask the question bluntly. Where did you guys come from? I mean, it seems like you came from nowhere, and you're competing with the big blockchains. I mean, you're talking about blockchains that have been around since 2017, that have got lots of VC money, that are processing transactions, and my Twitter feed goes mad with Elrond. So, where did you guys come from?
Definitely. So the idea is that we've started Elrond at the end of 2017, when it was clear that the scaling problem that we had in the space was not going to get solved very soon. So we gathered a team with which we can literally build rockets. And for the last 3 years, we've been working on perhaps the most robust and scalable blockchain architecture in the world that is currently live and can process more than 15,000 transactions per second with a 6-second latency and 0.0001 transaction cost. So
16,000 transactions per second you're talking about. I'm going to get into the technicals with you in a second, but I must say, the community here is going absolutely wild. Come on, EGLD. You've got your Benjamin, I love you. You've got Elrond here. We're going to talk about your community. We're going to talk about the technicals. I just want to remind the community that if you are watching this and you do want to see more projects like Elrond, or if you want to see Elrond again, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button right now, guys. Please, that is what gets distribution. I'm counting on you guys. Also, if you want to call in, it's a call-in show. So all you do is you go to cryptobanter.com, hit the call-in button, and when you do, you will be live in the studio. And remember, guys, you can remain anonymous because we know that crypto people want to remain anonymous. All right, let's talk about this new blockchain that proposes or is promised to do 16,000 transactions per second. Tell me about how this blockchain works. Is it proof of work? Is it proof of stake? Tell me about how the mechanics work.
Definitely. So the idea is that we've built Elrond on 2 important breakthroughs. The first one is adaptive state sharding, which essentially is a way of parallelizing the transaction processing so that you cannot process transaction in a serial manner as you do in Bitcoin or Ethereum, but instead you can do this in a parallel manner where you can scale significantly. And then second, we have a consensus mechanism called secure proof of stake, which is essentially a way to process transactions really efficient, really fast, and extremely secure based on random sampling of the consensus group. So to give you maybe a parallel, it's what Ethereum 2.0 has been always aiming to do, but the difference is that this is all live since the 30th of July. And we're super excited with adoption. We're already seeing, obviously, the community is, I think, perhaps the most passionate community in the crypto space. And as you look closer, you'll discover that, in fact, Elrond opens up a new frontier for the blockchain space.
All right, we're going to talk about that in a second. I want to understand this team that came together. When did they come together? Who's in the team? Give me some background. You said this was a team that can build spaceships and rockets. I know Elon Musk watches our show, so maybe he wants to know who these team are too. Give us a little bit of a background. When did you come together? Who the
Definitely. So the idea is that I've been in the blockchain space since 2013. Initially stumbled into Bitcoin, was super intrigued by it. Then I joined the NEM core team. I was part of the first 5 members in the NEM core team. Obviously, NEM is now one of the top 20 projects. But then as things moved forward, it was clear to me that there was a very, very important need in the space that we really solve scalability and build what we call an internet scale blockchain. To say that we really need a blockchain that can scale with the demand of the internet in a way that was previously impossible before. So the team coming to the team is a team with PhDs in computer science, engineers coming from some of the top companies in the world. But most important, a team which is, I think, perhaps the most hardcore team in putting the effort in for the last 3 years and showing some results that will surprise most of the people, especially if you take a closer look at the things that have been built and that are up and running. Because it's one thing to promise something that will come out in, let's say, 3 years, and another thing to have this breakthrough built and delivered and up and running as it is right now, with more than 2,169 nodes distributed around the world. So we are super excited about both the validators, the team, and the community.
You're jumping far ahead, but I'm glad you answered that question. Money. When did you guys raise money? How much did you raise? Who were the big investors in your round?
Definitely. So I think in terms of money, Elrond has, again, a very different story. First, for the first 1.5 years, the founders basically self-funded the project because we really believed that this needed to be built, and most of the people did not take adaptive state charting and secure proof of stake too seriously at that point. It was mostly considered that you could not build this in practice. So after about 1.5 years, we've raised 2 rounds, a private round, and then we've done a Binance IEO. So a private round with some really interesting people from around the world, among which Electric Capital, Binance Labs, Woodstock Fund, Maven 11, and so forth. And then, interestingly enough, Elrond was perhaps the highest demand Binance IEO at the date when we've launched. We've launched in July or August 2019, and have never stopped since, just breaking new records and setting a new quality standard.
We're going to get into the pricing and the charts in a second, but before we get there, so community is super important when it comes to blockchain. I mean, technology is one thing. It sounds like you've got the technology under control. It sounds like, as you mentioned, you've got a team of rocket scientists who've built the technology. But it's not about technology anymore. It's about, can you attract a community, an investment community, 2, a building community, and then, of course, just the user community or the user base. It looks like you've got a huge investment community from, if I look at the volumes, if I look at the Twitter traffic, you guys have got a very vibrant community. Tell me a little bit more about the building community. How are you getting people to build? I know Ethereum at the time had consensus and they had Joe Lubin funding huge money for people to build. What are you guys doing to get projects to build on Elrond?
Sure. I would say that the most important thing that differentiates Elrond from other projects is that, like I said, we open a new frontier in the blockchain space. And there are 2 elements to this. The first one is that we're building this internet scale blockchain. Beyond this point, you'll never have the scalability problems anymore. This is one very, very important breakthrough that will have huge implications for the future. This is
Are you
Pardon?
doing this? Are you doing this through a proof of stake model with validators? And just quickly for our viewers, how are you keeping it decentralized? How many validators are there? How's it disseminated?
Definitely. So the scalability part, as I mentioned before, is done through adaptive state sharding. And the consensus mechanism is called secure proof of stake. And interestingly enough, I think at this point, Elrond is probably the most decentralized and distributed network in the space, with 2,169 nodes distributed around the world. We are going to actually move to 3,200 at the middle of January. But coming back to your initial question, how we gather a strong community, how we gather a strong builders community. I think the strong point is that if you really build value and people start to understand that value, they want something like this. There are no projects at this point that really bring this type of innovation and enable you to build everything you'd like, not only because the performance problem is solved, but you have a very useful dev toolkit with an IDE, with a Rust framework, with a WASM VM, all of this up and running that allow you to basically write your smart contracts and deploy your dApps a lot faster. And last but not least, there's another important aspect, which is with the smart contracts built on Elrond, you have a 30% royalty fee that goes to the author of the smart contract, and this happens built in. So by default, you have a new business model when you build on the Elrond architecture.
Have the venture capitalists discovered Elrond? I mean, you know, when I see the venture capitalists, I see them investing in Ethereum. I've seen a few investing in Algorand and some other projects. There's a lot going on in Solana at the moment. From what you're telling me, it sounds like this is a little bit more exciting than all of these. It sounds like you're much further down the line, but I haven't seen a VC that tells me that they've got an Elrond fund or that they are investing in Elrond related projects.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I think the most important opportunities in the crypto space have come with the retail discovering them before anyone else. And then afterwards, the VCs, and then afterwards, the much larger players. So in that respect, I think Elrond is super early in the sense that we're building this, as I said, internet scale blockchain, but then building it for the next billion people, because incidentally, I think this is the problem that we have, that there are very, very few people. And if we can solve the second most important problem, which is UX, at that point, we can bring a wave of adoption much larger than anything we have in the space. So this is what we're doing with Maiar, which is a key application that is aimed to launch at the end of January. Yeah, and then with this in mind, I think a lot of investors from around the world will discover Elrond during the next period, and will be super glad to do so, because as they'll dig, they'll discover a different kind of quality and a different kind of standard that is not here for the short term. And this is, I think, the most important discussion.
Okay, where are you in terms of your development at the moment? Are you guys on mainnet? Are people building on this? Tell us where you guys are. Give us a feel for where you are in the development.
Sure. So the Elrond network is fully live. It's live already since 6 months ago. As I said, having 15,000 transactions per second that can be processed right now with this type of inexpensive cost for the transactions, and having this toolkit available, this is a tremendous opportunity. And we've expressed this in what I think is a very important idea, which is that the next Amazons and Googles of our time are perhaps one smart contract away. On Elrond, people will be able to deploy these contracts and build these projects that I think will have a huge impact during the next couple of years. We, of course, have a lot of interesting projects, more than 50 partners and collaborators that are building, testing, integrating Elrond in different ways. We have a few really powerful verticals about which we'll discuss, where we're choosing strategic partners that we support so that they themselves then become superstars, like Orion Protocol, which is this high liquidity DEX that essentially creates a liquidity flow between both centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, and allows people to trade in a way that has not been possible before. So
just tell us a little bit about Orion. Is also one that our viewers have been asking about. Tell us a little bit about how Orion works. How does it actually enable that kind of trading?
So the idea is that they have built a new kind of protocol that essentially bridges, transforms exchanges, and both centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges into brokers and incentivizes them. So they have this kind of meta liquidity bridge that connects everyone, incentivizes them. And when you have this type of abstraction above this, you essentially have an exchange that gives you access to the entire liquidity pool, which is extremely powerful. And as soon as we'll have this ready, I think we'll see a different kind of innovation just building on top of their decentralized exchange.
And when you say as soon as we have this ready, when are you thinking that this will actually be ready? This will actually be ready to ship to market?
So interestingly enough, Orion is launching their mainnet on the 15th, which is, let me actually check. So it's launched yesterday. And then the idea is they're moving to Elrond in Q1 to leverage the full architecture. But they're already testing this with the people. They already have the mainnet launched, and everyone can already see what the status is, how it can be used. And we're super excited to see how this will play out on Elrond, where they really have this kind of internet scale performance.
All right, now just to confirm, the EGLD token is a token that, of course, you can stake if you want to become a validator or pool with validators. Is it also a gas token to pay transactions on the network?
Definitely, yeah. This is the token that is powering the entire network.
Amazing. I'm going to bring Coach K in here. I know that he's a big Elrond fan. Coach, I also see that you've got a chart for us. I take it that's the Elrond chart.
Hold on a sec. So I've been looking at this for a while. I mean, you can see my entry way down here. So from a technical perspective, I mean, it broke into the cloud, edge-to-edge trade. And I've been riding this very nicely until today. And this is really the only reason why it's come down is because of Bitcoin hitting its all-time high. So from a technical perspective, it looks amazing. I followed this for the huge run-up when it was just regular Elrond, before it was EGLD. It's a great project. I know some people that are involved with it. One of my buddies, Danilo, I know he's been working with you guys for marketing, and he's really big on you guys for the whole bear market. He's loving what you guys are doing. Yeah, go ahead, man.
I know him too. I know he's a marketing genius.
He's great.
I mean, I want to ask you a question before we talk much deeper about the price. But you guys have got an extremely vibrant community. I've never seen anything like it. All over Twitter, all over Telegram. What's the secret? How do you recruit so many people to be so passionate about your project? This has got to be a case study.
Yeah, I would say that there's actually no secret. The thing is that some things take a huge amount of time, a huge amount of effort, and they cannot be replicated, at least to what we can see. So there are super smart and super resourceful people in the Elrond community that have literally invested their lives putting in effort on a lot of channels, a lot of initiatives. Big shout out to them. And I do think that most of these people, interestingly enough, have been with Elrond for the long run, meaning they've been through bear markets, through difficult times, and then now they can also be happy when they finally see some of the results. But we always try to remind people that you want to ignore the noise, think really big, and then plan for the long term. Elrond is not one of these projects where we're looking to do the immediate stuff and just think short term and so forth. It's one of these rare projects where if you look deep enough, you'll see that it will be here in 5 years, in 10 years, and it will probably write some history. So I guess this is where the community comes from, why they self-select, and we're super grateful to have everyone involved.
I must say, I think this is a great opportunity for any VCs that are watching the show, any VCs that are listening. I haven't heard of a fund that's dedicated to invest in Elrond. I haven't heard of accelerators that are dedicated to invest in Elrond. If the technology is what it is, and I must assume that it is, not having done any kind of real due diligence, then I must say that this does sound like one of those projects. Now, Coach K, can we get the right chart this time? Because the lines are going crazy. Koti. I say I'm going to get this. In Benny, we trust. We've got you, Ran. I love you for bringing Benjamin here. The lines are going absolutely crazy. Guys, if you are watching this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. The more you hit the like button and the subscribe button, the more this content gets around. The more people that see this content, the bigger your community grows, the bigger our community grows. All righty, Coach K. Now can we please have the right chart?
Yeah, it's the right chart. Okay, so just to point this out, guys, Elrond, before it went to EGLD, I believe it was like 100x. It's up 31x right now. And then the trade I was talking about is edge to edge. I mean, we saw this come in, it broke into the cloud, closed in the cloud on the daily. That was when I entered the trade. And we've been riding this up. And what I was saying, and this candle is just Bitcoin running like crazy. The actual dollar value EGLD is exactly the same. So this is a really good trade. 7-hour trade, something that's very profitable. But in terms of, the chart, it looks great. I think this is going to smash right to the top of this and then, go to discovery and do another, who knows how many X's it will do. But we've talked about Celsius on one of the shows, and this is following the same trajectory as Celsius on the up and up without stopping. So you're looking at a project that has something real backing it, a solution, and a really vibrant community. And as we know, that's the most important part for crypto really doing well, as a community and doing something that actually matters.
Coach, what's the market cap? If I looked at the market cap earlier, I think the market cap, let me check on my side. Market cap was $331 million. Now, when I look at the big blockchains, when I say the big blockchains, I look at Ethereum, I look at Cardano and all those other guys. Ethereum has a market cap of 70 billion. Cardano has a market cap of 5 billion. You've got Polkadot that's got 5 billion. You've got Stellar Lumens, and I know you can't compare Stellar Lumens to this, but 4 billion. You got EOS, which hasn't done anything, doesn't have a community at all. I mean, I don't know anyone in the EOS community other than the people in Block 1 in Hong Kong and a few other lonely people. And these guys are all on 3 billion. So when you look at a project like this, you're looking at a market cap of 330 million. 10x doesn't seem unreasonable.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, people that provide solutions, you have the EOSs, they really haven't done anything. You got Elrond that's just been building and building and building, and it seems like they came out of nowhere for a lot of people because they didn't know about it till it was EGLD, and that's when the new people came into the space and they saw it and went, wow, look what it did. And you're sitting there going, well, I wish I could pull up the old chart and show the 100x that it did right before it even did this. So it did 100x, then it did 31x on top of that. And it did, it had a nice retracement, very healthy, and now it's going back up. And it would not surprise me with a bull run to see this, go all the way up into the 40,000 sat range and really smash it. And that would probably put it in like a $1 billion to $1.5 billion market cap. So if they keep reducing and keep making all the partnerships they have with all the different projects, I mean, sky's really the limit. If you deliver with a community, the chart will just follow that exactly. So, we're in the bull season, so good news and bad news, all the news will just pump everything, in my opinion. But when you have a really strong community, you've seen what happened with, crap coins like XRP. So with a really good project and a really different atmosphere this time, I think, it's like projects like Elrond will do really well in the long term, and they're known. They're going to be really well known soon, I'm sure.
So we have some callers coming in. Alan, I think you're live on cryptobanter.com. You're live with a okay, and I think we've just lost him. All right, Benjamin. Money set aside to fund projects, either in the form of grants or in the form of VC type investment. Are there tokens that have been set aside that are still available for this in the project?
Yes, definitely. There are tokens available for this. I think we'll soon have even more discussions with funds and with people that discover things. I know some funds really like projects more when they're at a $1 billion valuation than when they're at a $100 million valuation, although it would be a lot smarter to look at the undiscovered assets, at the ones that are undervalued. But what I would add is if you take a close look at Elrond beyond even the technology, which I think is core, beyond the community, which I think is core, if you take a look at the collaborations, partnerships that we've announced, we've actually done a marathon, which is more like an Ironman, not a marathon, where we've pushed super hard in achieving things that we believe are really valuable. We actually just announced a listing on eToro X. They've not listed projects since I think about 1 year ago. A super hard due diligence process, as you can imagine. But we want to position Elrond for the much wider adoption. For the it seems to me that most of the people just focus on the zero-sum game. How do I steal a few people from the next projects and whatever, and forget the elephant in the room? The elephant in the room is that we're only 50 to 100 million people in the blockchain space, which is super small. If we can bring the next billion people in the blockchain space, then this will be a multi-trillion asset class with a lot of assets that will be trillion-dollar assets. Elrond, as I said, is not here for today or tomorrow. If you look at the 5 to 10 year roadmap, this is when things become mind-blowingly interesting.
Okay, so mind-blowingly interesting. Tell me how it is that a project that has this much traction that managed to get an eToro listing. Now, I must say, the reason why I bring that up is because I know that eToro play by the book. Before they list a token, they do a very, very, very intense due diligence process. They're not the type of exchange to list every token. They're not a Binance. They're not one of these widespread exchanges. They have few tokens, but they do their due diligence. How is it that a project that has this kind of technology, has this kind of community, has a $300 million market cap?
No, it's just a matter of time. The market has not yet discovered Elrond, has not looked close enough. Markets are not efficient. They always have inefficiency. The key thing is to discover things before everyone else discovers them, understand things before everyone else, and then try to get exposures to what you believe has real and substantive value when that's undervalued. I do think that Elrond is not even 1% of what it will become. And we're pushing as hard as possible to make this a reality.
Look, I must say, you guys have educated me. I wasn't one of these people that were watching Elrond. I discovered it when I did the tweet. I had heard of the project before. I didn't pay much attention to it. I discovered it when I did that tweet. Since then, I've started doing my own research. I haven't done enough research to be a buyer yet, but I'm well on the way. I think this conversation has helped me a hell of a lot. If our viewers want to learn more, want to join your community, want to build on your community, what's the best place?
The idea is we have several channels on which you can discover some of the Elrond community. Of course, Twitter is super easy to get the conversation going. There are many people that are super helpful on Twitter, but the easiest conversation I'd say is on Telegram, where we have more than 20,000 people. A lot of people that are, again, super helpful if you have questions. Also, be super careful with the scammers everywhere. They pop up everywhere. But if you take pay a close attention, you'll see that on Elrond.com we have the blog. Then on Telegram we have a channel where you get all the answers or whatever questions you might have. Then on Twitter, of course, you can follow us for the most relevant updates that we push out almost on a daily basis.
I'm definitely going to follow you on Twitter, on Telegram. I'm also going to follow you on CoinGecko, on Masari Crypto, because the price of the token seems to be going out of control. I know as a founder, I'm not going to put you on the spot. Benjamin, it's been amazing having you on the show. Stay in touch with us. Let us know what's going on. I see there are a lot of callers, but we do have to move on because we have an amazing next segment. Benjamin, thank you.
Thank you very much. Talk soon.
All righty. So now moving on to our next segment. This is a segment you probably don't want to miss. I met someone on Twitter who turned $2,000 into $1 million trading crypto. He calls himself the Crypto Spider. He turned $2,000 into $1 million. He's a DeFi Degen just like us. He's a Uniswap trader. He goes by the handle Crypto Spider 1 on Twitter. Crypto Spider, you are live on Crypto Banter.
All right, pleasure to meet everyone. And so as you said, it's actually pretty crazy because I was just actually asked to look into the DeFi space for work, for regulation sakes and all that. And then out of nowhere, I found out about Uniswap, and I was like, all right, well, I have experience in 2017 doing something similar. Actually, this is the second time I've done this, surprisingly. I originally was in college when I started trading in 2017, and I only start with about $3,000 or maybe $4,000 around that time. And I remember really quickly, I was just really active on chat rooms talking to people about trades. But what I didn't realize what I was doing when I was doing that was I was networking. And very quickly, I found myself getting into really different groups of people that taught me about which coins to invest in. And that kind of led way to me to realize that, wow, there's a lot of money in, not really just spending or trying to chart stuff or trying to read into projects and partnerships, but actually following the crowd and where they put their money.
So you trade, your methodology, if I understand correctly, is you network and you trade with a momentum. You trade by following the crowd.
I do momentum trading, yes. I call it narrative-based trading, basically, follow the narratives, and it works very well in Uniswaps because there's very, very quickly they move from narrative to narrative. From my time when I start trading in August, I've been through maybe 4 or 5 different narratives, starting from Yearn Finance clones to NFTs to now rebase clones, which is the most recent trend. And then now we're just waiting for a next trend. And I've realized that, well, rather than kind of just trading in a way where you're trying to find a project that has some sort of stealth launch or something like that, try just to follow the trend. And you can find yourself making quick profits that way. And I wouldn't say that you don't have a chance of losing some money, but in this market, what ends up happening is there's a much higher upside than downside if you can get into projects early enough. So maybe 4 out of 5 projects, you're going to get 2 projects that do extremely well. And that's really good in my opinion. If you have 2 projects that do a 4 or 5x and you get rugged on 2 other ones, actually, you're still getting past your original cost basis and making some sort of profit. So that's kind of what I realized and how I've been taking advantage of this type of trend. And yeah,
I want to ask you, because I think let's make it a little bit more practical. So you're a college graduate, you get into crypto straight after college. You've got 2, 3, 4 grand. Today, how much money have you made in crypto?
I would say I'm a millionaire at least, multi. Most people are tracking my wallet at the time, but they had seen my wallet grow. It's on Zerion, where it went from $2,000 all the way up to at peak 2 million. And then this time I didn't want to make the same mistake as I did in 2017. A lot of us didn't cash out, So I kind of want to start fresh, and I moved most of my money into a bank this time just to kind of secure some stuff. But it's a very interesting market, right? Like you don't need a lot of money in order to make some money inside this market. Like I've seen a lot of my friends, they started with maybe even just $500, and they get into one good project and on Uniswap that they stand really hard behind, and now they're sitting in 10K or more. I think that's incredible. Like there's not many places you can do that within a matter of a week or two. And I think that's a huge advantage of like this space. While it is very, very, I would say it's also dangerous, right? It is definitely not safe. But if you're able to sift through the noise and do some trend trading, like I think that you can find a more trusted clones and trade those. So
all right, so let's talk about, you come out of 2017 in the midst of the bear market. How big is your portfolio in the midst of the bear market?
Actually, I had pretty much lost almost everything inside 2017, as crazy as that sounded. And I think it was a huge lesson. I know a lot of people did. What was happening is, for me at least, I made a lot of money when I was trading, holding stuff spot, right? But I remember near the end, as the market was crashing, I was like, oh, wow, I'm going to try to learn how to short this and play this. And, that turned out to me to be like kind of sort of close to gambling. Which was a huge downside. It hurt a lot of people. I think a lot of my friends that I was talking at the time were trying to do the same thing. We weren't really trading fundamentally. Instead of taking profits on whatever we had, we just wanted to try to figure out a way to short the market, which that didn't go well because we over leveraged and we hurt ourselves immensely. Because once we lost 20,000, then we thought we need to put in another 40,000 to make up for the 20,000, and then just snowballed. And then on top of that too, yes, our altcoin positions just kind of got wrecked. Like, Icon or Wanchain, like they went from.
Wrecked. Let's talk about today, because you talk about you trading themes and you're trading momentum, and I guess that right now in a bull market, the momentum is up. But where or what are you trading now that's giving you outsized returns?
Well, right now, what I'm trying to trade is I'm still trying to trade the rebase trends, but more so the projects that I can see have legitimacy. So like projects that have stablecoin backing, and have high TLV. So for example, BadgerDAO, or we can look at stuff such as like basis dollar or basis cash, or even some of the other ones like dynamic set dollar. I feel like those projects have a lot of value, just because they offer something different. I think that their rebase mechanisms, they're a lot, if it goes below a certain price hold, there's this incentive to buy it, and it creates some buy pressure if it goes like below $1. And I think that that's what most rebase projects are missing. And I think that a lot of people are missing that kind of hype recently. So I'm writing those ones, but
so the rebase project, give us some other names of stuff that you're looking at. Give us some other themes of themes that you're playing at the moment. Are you bullish on NFTs?
I am sort of bullish on NFTs. I say that because really it's up to the community to decide value in which project, and then I'll kind of follow there. But I think that most of the use cases for NFTs right now are more so just to showcase an NFT, and there's not really like NFTs that are tied to some sort of game or actual asset class. So, or like, in that sense, I mean, like I'd love to see more gamification, because I think NFTs with gamification, that has extreme value. I mean, I come from a gaming background, so I see it all the time. I play like games like.
Man. You gotta check out AnarchyX, man. Check out AnarchyX. We're literally a game-based NFT project that, like, basically you play with other people on your team as an esport to win the highest aggregate APY and all these boosts to actually every single week you get new NFTs that are boostable for a week, and then you get like chalices, and we have all these really cool graphics. So we're bringing back the old school cypherpunk.
Are you shilling projects on the show, man?
It's my own project, man. I have to.
I know. You're allowed to get your minute on the air. You're allowed to get your minute of fame on the air. Spider. What else? Give me some names of coins, because our viewers here come here because they want to know about coins. We've got our resident chartist here, so we can validate what you're saying with the momentum and the charts. It's kind of a perfect combination. What else? Did you buy Elrond?
I actually bought some Elrond, more so because I have some friends that I know that are working with Elrond now, and I kind of trust them. And they've made a big initiative to take on some new marketing And I think that was kind of what the push they needed, because it has been a good project, similar to Cosmos. I think Cosmos and Elrond were good projects I've been watching since 2018, 2017, end of 2017. So they're not new, but they've been in stealth mode, I would say. Similar to, there's actually another project I think a lot of people have been kind of sleeping on too. If you look into Wanchain, they've actually been innovating a lot inside of the DeFi space as well. They've even created their own swap. I think people are sleeping on that one because they actually have something very similar to Ren, but they offer interoperability in a different way. And they are a fork of the Ethereum blockchain. So I think there's a lot of value in forks that are less populated. They have lower transaction costs, and they can have like a small bump, but I say small ecosystem bump, like as some developers are on there. I'm definitely watching Avalanche too. If we're talking about NFTs, I think Avalanche is definitely one of the few blockchains I'm watching for the development of blockchain ecosystems. Coil,
Coach, what are you saying? What are you saying about Avalanche? This is a name that keeps coming up.
Well, Avalanche. Go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead. The reason why I was interested in Avalanche is I believe Gavin Wood is involved with that project, I believe. But really, why I was excited about it is that it looks like there's a developer community forming around it, where people are actually developing projects on the actual blockchain, which is where I believe value is driven from. Like, as opposed to actual, and I say it's coming from a programming background, right? Like, as programmers, it isn't really about the language itself being the best and most efficient, right? Like, then we just all be using Golang or something like that. But what we see is that where there's a community there to support us when we have questions and we're asking for help, that's where I think there's real value. And I think that's why I personally think Polkastarter is still undervalued in my opinion, because there's a huge there's a huge amount of developers that were usually building on Solidity or on Ethereum. They're moving over to work more on Polkastarter and like build on that blockchain and platform. And it's not offering support. So
let's bring this back to something that our viewers can digest. 6 coins that you think are about to explode. I think let's bring it to that. You got Coach K with me here. Let's talk about your top 6 coins, projects that you think are going to explode.
All right. So if I could start with just one, and I would choose one that I would hold from now to the end of the year, I would choose Parsec. I think Parsec is still extremely undervalued, just based on the type of work they've been doing and the type of value I think analytics companies do have. What they're offering is a drag and drop solution to.
What's that? What's the token called?
Parsec. So it's PRQ. PRQ. Stansberry actually just released a report on it, I think just yesterday around like 3 or 2 p.m. or around that time Pacific time, where they actually said that this is a coin that has potential to even be $1 billion coin down the road in a year. They're predicting that in the next year that should at least go 5x, and I think that's very bullish. Some things that also make me excited is that Binance has invested very heavily into this project as well. They've been improved into the Binance Accelerator Fund, which is over $100 million in funding. This is helping this project up. So that's one.
In the interest of time, Parsec is one. You got 5 to go. Let's go pretty quick.
Let's do Cover next. I think Cover Protocol is extremely
protocol. Yeah, but hold on. Are you talking about Cover Protocol even at these prices? I mean, I know Cover Protocol was cheap at $500, but I mean, now Cover Protocol is getting a little bit expensive. I'm quickly just checking the market cap of Cover Protocol right now as we speak. So Cover Protocol is trading at $1,231. That's a market cap of $66 million. You're still buying Cover Protocol at $66 million?
Yes, I would do so because I'm really, I really believe in the Yearn Finance ecosystem and what they're trying to bring and offer. So, I personally think Cover is going to overtake, Nexus Mutual, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be providing a lot of value towards. We've already seen Cover. They're starting to take care of pools such as like Badger and like.
And they covered the pickle hack. Coach, Cover Protocol, $1,200. Yes or no?
It hasn't stopped yet. I mean, it looks like it's in a bull flag formation on the daily. So until it kind of comes down below, $1,000, $1,100, I wouldn't really be looking to sell it if I was holding it. Buying it, I would wait for the breakout of 1,400. If it breaks out 1,400, it'll probably go higher. Alrighty.
Spider, coin number 3. So we've got Parsec, we've got Cover Protocol.
And this really does range. I'll start, and for the last 6 points, I'll choose other coins that are more like Degen coins, I would say. But I'm going down the list of ones that I'm holding personally right now, which is Cover, Sushi is the next one.
Sushi. We all think it's undervalued, especially when you look at Uniswap. It seems like the sushi community is getting stronger than the Uniswap community. And that's something I never thought would happen after the first incident where the coins were taken by the founder and then returned. All right, sushi's a given. Coach, you don't even have to answer that. No. You got 3 more coins. Let's go very quickly because our 2 next guests are on the line. We've got Lord David Gockstein on the line, and we've got Nathan Vati on the line from SpiderDAO. So we've got a huge show here for you guys today. Just a reminder that you need to hit the subscribe button and the like button and the bell if you want more of this content. All right, Spider, 3 more coins. Let's go.
All right. I think another one that I like a lot too is and you guys are gonna laugh at this. The name of this one. This one's called Rope. They're building a very interesting platform right now. And
but don't buy Rope.
Don't buy Rope. Don't buy Rope. Yeah, it has a very funny meme going around it. But you know what they're trying to do is they're trying to build an NFT marketplace. So, and I think with the community and developers that they have on deck, that there's a lot of upside for it because for an NFT platform, if they build it the way they are, and I've seen some of the mock-up and designs for being inside the Citadel, which you need to hold about 77.7 Rope in order to get into. I'm really bullish on what they're trying to create.
Alrighty, rope. So you've got Rope, you've got Sushi, you got Cover, you got Parsec. 2 more coins very quickly because we have to cross over in the half hour to our next guest. 2 more coins.
I think the last one that I would choose, this one's kind of random, is I would choose. Where is it? I'm trying to find it on my list.
Drum roll, please.
I would actually choose there's this coin. It's called Trinity Protocol. I think it's more of a short-term trade, and I believe that personally can go up to like around $1 or so. But the reason why I was kind of drawn to this project is because Swipe's chief engineer basically audited their code, and while it's the same as all the other like forks out there that have some things similar to like Reflect Finance Protocol and ITS, why I found this one a little interesting is that they have some sort of roadmap to be a liquidity bridge, and I think that's really interesting that what they're trying to position themselves as, because what they do offer, if they do allow trading pairs through them, is like I said, an efficient liquidity bridge that basically people can use to trade if they don't have a lot of liquidity. And there's a lot of projects out there that lack liquidity. So I would love to see what partnerships they form. And I'm kind of trusting in the team more so. I mean, obviously, if you look at it right now, there isn't much to kind of go off of. But what drew me to them was that they're able to land conversations with like people like the Swipe chief technology officer. And then they also were able to land a partnership with Tribute. So it tells me that, well, these guys, they really, some of this stuff is about just networking, right? If they're able to have the right conversations and build the right liquidity bridges, then in that sense, they're an undervalued project, sitting around a $2 million market cap. And so I'm following that a little bit more. I'm following that trend of these Reflect Finance clones, but I'm also going off the ability for this protocol itself to create partnerships and to create value for themselves, because that's what I truly see is where real value is made. Right?
Alrighty, Spider, I'm sorry to cut you short, but that really is all we have time for today. It's been fascinating talking to you, learning about this kind of trading. We'll stay in touch with you because I think the first thing is we've got to call you out on whether your calls here were successful. Also, we hope that you turn the 1 million into 10 million. We'll keep an eye out. We'll keep touching base with you. And now I'm going, actually, you won't believe it, but I'm going from one spider to another spider. So you're Crypto Spider, but my next guest actually is SpiderDAO, and I've got Nathan Vardy on the line. Nathan, you are live on CryptoBanter.com.
Hello,
Nathan.
Thank you very much for having me.
Amazing. Nathan, SpiderDAO, this is a project that had a lot of attention on Telegram and on Twitter. I saw that you guys launched yesterday. Tell me a little bit about what SpiderDAO is.
Yeah, so to understand SpiderDAO, first of all, you need to understand, what a DAO is. So first of all, it's a decentralized autonomous organization, which is basically an organization that is controlled by the community. So it's not controlled by any plutocracies or any.
I think it's important that we talk about this for a second, because one of the things about blockchain and all these governance tokens and everything else is these are organizations that are not actually run by management. They're run by the community.
That's the point I was trying to get. Sorry. Yeah. So they're not run by management or by governments, or they're basically decentralized. And for that, we decided to look at this from a different way, and we noticed that these decentralized autonomous organizations were being manipulated. And we found a solution by adding hardware to that problem. We could solve it. So SpiderDAO is the first hardware.
Take me one step back. These DAOs, or decentralized autonomous organizations, you're saying that they can be gamed by whales. In other words, whales come in and whales can actually take control of the DAO. Is that what you're saying? They come in and using their buying power, they fill up tokens, wallets with tokens, and then effectively take control of the DAO, making it not so much a DAO, but actually run by whales.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So basically, I can give you a little bit more in-depth, view into the problems of DAOs, if you like.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
this is what we had to learn.
Yeah. So basically, basically a DAO can be manipulated by plutocracies or dark DAOs or exploitable governance. So if I wanted to go into them in a bit more detail and just break it down, and so it's nice and simple. These whales, which many people know as whales, are like wealthy people who hold big bags of tokens, and they can then basically use them tokens to distribute amongst many other wallets, and then they can use them to skew the vote of the DAO, and make it so that it's in their best interest to either move the token price or change the way that they
start controlling these organizations. Now, SpiderDAO has a unique way of solving this. How does SpiderDAO solve this problem? Who is Spider, the company?
Okay, so SpiderDAO is the first hardware DAO. It is basically stopping this bad problem by offering a hardware off-chain mechanism to the on-chain problem. So basically, by having these wealthy whales controlling DAOs, the only way to really stop them is to add this hardware layer. And this hardware layer,
what you're giving them is you're giving them a VPN router. And if I understand correctly, given the limited reading that I've done, you're a company called Spider that has been doing VPN routers for a while. Now what you're doing is you're giving your users the router, the VPN router, as a voting mechanism, and you're counting on them, you're having one vote per routing mechanism.
That's right. Yes. So each router would so basically each router would have one vote per router, rather than have distributed it across many other wallets. So basically it controls the vote, so that there's only one router to one vote. There's no way that there can be exploited.
Okay, but it sounds to me like this is a very complicated and cumbersome way of solving a problem that should be solved without hardware. I understand that once you've got a router, you know exactly who the person is. You can have one vote per router. You know where the person is located, etc., etc. But do we really want to try and solve governance issues by handing out hardware when there's things like mobile phones today?
Well, the difference is with this hardware doesn't actually have to gain or gather any personal data. It will literally just be a piece of hardware with a MAC address, which is stored on an on-chain ledger, which then people would not be able to, we don't have to hold any personal data here. This is only the data of the hardware and the data of their tokens. And then once they've got them two pieces of data, we can validate them, and then they can make a vote. So we're not actually making sure that we've got anyone's personal data. This will only be data held on the device itself, which gives them the ability to vote.
Got it. So that's one way to stop the manipulation by whales and by people who want to disperse large amounts of tokens. Now,
I've lost you there, mind. We're still there.
Your sell on Polkastarter. Can you hear me, Nathan?
Sorry, I lost you there a second. Could you say that again?
I saw that you guys did a sale yesterday on Polkastarter, which is the Polkadot springboard mechanism. And I saw that your tokens got sold in a matter of seconds. Just tell me a little bit about that process on Polkastarter.
Yeah, so basically we decided to go ahead with launching on Polkastarter. They were also launching on the same day as us, so that was also very good way for us to market our projects together and share that experience. Also, they're also building on the Polkadot network, which is also in line with us. So it was a very good opportunity to have some true community spirit there and work alongside them, which we really enjoyed. And we done AMA in their group, and they done an AMA in our group, and we had a very nice time doing that. And then we decided to launch on their platform, which was very successful. And I mean, it was that successful that we were sold out within a space of, I think it was under a minute. So yeah, it went really fast, to be honest.
How much did you sell? How much did you guys raise on that Polkastarter platform?
So on the Polkastarter platform, we had two pools, and one pool was for $100,000 in Ethereum, and the other one was $100,000 in Ethereum paired with Pol's tokens only. So there was an opportunity for the general public to get involved, and also a nice opportunity for the new exchange at Polka, the Pol's token holders, to get involved too.
Alrighty. Coach K. I saw that you were tweeting about this. You were on Telegram about this. I know you're an early investor for our viewers. So full disclosure, Coach K is an early investor.
Full disclosure.
Yeah. What are your thoughts here? I mean, this is a new project. Some people, the early investors, got tokens at 2.5 and 3 cents. It is now trading at about 7 cents. It went up to about 10 cents. And you can stake the tokens, and you can make healthy returns if you stake the tokens with a US dollar pair, or you can stake them on the ETH pair. And I saw earlier today, I don't know what it's looking like now, but there's over 1,000% returns to be made. Tell me what you're thinking.
I think it's a pretty interesting project. Like, there's a lot of DAOs that, came out, earlier in the year, or like kind of mid-year when the whole entire Corona thing started. It seemed like people wanted communities. So you had the Karma DAO, and you had like all these other DAOs kind of open up. There's other projects that are great from the before, like Ferrum. And I thought that, with the whole idea of not being able to cartel, and I really like the idea of having your own tech that they're going to send me my own router. And
it sounds cumbersome, man. Sending people routers around the world. It just feels like there could be a better way to solve the problem. Why do you like getting a router?
Well, I mean, there's HNT, Helium Network. That one's done really, really well. And it kind of makes you feel like you're a part of the network, because if it's on your phone, it's going to suck your battery. There's going to be some reasons why it's not so great. This is like, okay, I can plug it in my wall. I can be a part of the system. I feel important. It's cool. I get to be a part. Like the whole idea of what the DAO is, like you feel part of something a lot of the time. And so I like the idea of being a part of it. And then also, I just felt like a lot of people, and there was a lot of hype. So in terms of like the trading perspective, I was like, this is probably a good opportunity.
Are you still in? Are you staking? Are you staking your tokens? Are you getting the 1,170%, or are you out? Coach, put your hand on your heart and tell me whether you're in or out on SpiderDAO.
No, I sold my initial because, getting out and taking initials is a smart move. It was up a lot when I got out. It was like almost 11 cents. So I went, you know what? I'm going to take a little bit, because I got like 90-something% of the tokens still. So it's never a problem, I know, to take a little bit of profit. And then, that way you have no risk. And then you can put them in, you can stake them, and you don't really think about it. It's nothing that stresses you out anymore. And so, that's what I did. And I might just buy in now because it's right at a perfect part in the chart where there's a lot of support. So it might be a good opportunity. I'm looking at it right this second, where I just see that it's right on this beautiful level. And I might just go and buy that right after the show today if it holds this level right here.
Stake them with an ETH pair and a US dollar pair. You can make about 1,100 3% returns. Adrian Bashuk, he is my CNBC producer. He's also the producer of this show. He also goes on the social airwaves and he finds all the projects that people are talking about. One of the people that he found was Lord David Gockstein, and he brought him onto the show. We're going to be having a chat to Lord David Gockstein, as he calls himself on the handle. Adrian, over to you. Tell us what seeing in the social airwaves. We're going to have this discussion now. I guess we're all on social media. We're all in Telegram. We're all on Twitter. Let's talk about what's going on.
I mean, it's all Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. There's really not much else. And rightly so.
Bitcoin broken 19,000, or where are we at?
Let's see where we are right now in real time. 28,800. 28,800.
20,800. I think we're going to start seeing $1,000 candles. That can only mean amazing stuff for Ethereum.
Just some of the bigger names in crypto Twitter and on social media. Tyler Winklevoss tweeting, Bitcoin is trending. Kia Wen, the real party starts today. He had said, real party starts once BTC breaks 20K. Superman, Michael Supo, he's not been around too much, but 20,000 breaking through. Nick Core saying the Bitcoin bull market will not last 1 year, not two, but likely years. Alex Kruger saying something similar. Crypto's transitioning the first year of a multi-bull year market. Monetary supply has exploded. Stocks are flying. Real yields are negative. So now crypto can be coming in the mainstream. Max Kaiser, our good friend Max Kaiser, the hash rate adjusted equilibrium price for Bitcoin is around 35K. That's what Max Kaiser is calling for, 35K. We'll see about that. You can see across all the socials, it's Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin.
Alrighty. And I see that sentiment is saying that we're going to get a pullback here, that we're not going to just keep going up. We did a poll on our Telegram. 60% of people said that they think there's going to be a pullback. A lot of the chartists are calling a pullback. Coach, you said earlier in the show that you're expecting up from here, but there could be a pullback to 12,800. Adrian, is it all euphoria, or are people actually looking for a pullback?
I mean, so early in the day, this kind of kicked off with, the overnight Asian markets, and then into today's Wall Street trading hours, we're just seeing talk of hitting this 20K resistance. We've been in this, swing trade zone between 18,000 and 19,400, and we smashed through tonight. So I'm not calling it euphoria. I'm just calling it, celebration of smashing through 20K.
All right, David, what do you think? Are we going straight up in a line, or are we going to go pull back? And if we're going to go to pull back, how bad is this pullback going to be?
It will be a bad pullback at all. And good morning and good evening to you, gentlemen. I don't know how Lord David Gockstein got in there, but okay, I'm going with it. I did type it up, but I don't think we're going to go ahead and have a horrendous pullback. I think I'm guessing 22,000 and change, and then we go right back into maybe I don't want to say we're going to go under 20,000, might go under 20,000, but I'm going to say that I feel confident that we'll stay above 20.
All right, so you think we're going to stay above 20. Any idea or any predictions in terms? You're saying 22,000. Do you think we'll get way above that, or is the 22,000 then down to 20 and then straight up?
I'm really guessing right now that we're going up. Like, I'm looking at the charts. I don't see anything blocking us from going up. But again, we got whales, man. They know how to play this game. So I can't go. Listen, I'm not Miss Cleo, so I'm not going to say, we're going to go to. I firmly believe, looking at everything, that the shit's going to 22,000 and change, and then we're going to have a little, retrace. And I'm hoping. I really hope, just for psychological reasons, that we hope that we all hold 20,000. Because if we go under there, then it's going to start, that's where I feel like we might tread a little bit back before we go up again.
Let me show you what worries me. So we know that when the markets collapse, when the equity markets collapse or take a pullback, it's going to be risk off all assets. It's going to be risk off Bitcoin first. We saw that in the last correction. In fact, if you remember, Bitcoin pulled back before everything else pulled back. Now, I pulled up these charts today. I want to just show you these charts. You'll recognize these charts the minute I show them to you. So that's the first chart I want to show you. That is the NASDAQ chart. You can see this is the Amazon chart. And this is the Tesla chart. Okay, now when I look at those charts, I'm calling for a massive stock market correction at some point. I know that there are the naysayers. I know they're saying, oh no, but there's money and there's stimulus. You cannot have a stock market where everybody is making so much money all the time and it's powered by stimulus. When the stock market crashes, I think that Bitcoin is going or has the risk of catching a very, very, very big correction. Because if I can imagine how these guys will correct, I mean, if you look at Tesla was the equivalent of $90 at the beginning of this year or somewhere along there, or even under that. Now it's $633. This is not a crypto. This is a company that's on the NASDAQ where pension fund money is sitting, where investor capital is sitting. I mean, are you guys worried about that? Does anyone stay up at night wondering when the stock market correction is coming?
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone's been waiting for it to crash, but it hasn't. So what I mean, you could sit there and go, oh, like I have a lot of friends that are traders, and even myself right at the start when COVID was here, I was like, man, everything's just going to go to zero. And then you watch the chart and you go, well, being objective, this isn't going down. So until it starts to go down, I mean, don't let your emotions get the best of you. Read the chart like as if there's nothing else going on, because you can let a narrative completely change your whole mindset about what you're seeing in a chart. And the best thing to do is just look at it and go, this is a technical level. And you know, if there's bullishness and it's going up, great. Just keep riding it until it doesn't let you go ride it anymore. Because you could be right 9 times out of 10. The one time you're wrong, just if you have risk management, you'll lose. Who cares? Doesn't matter. That's my opinion on it. Like, David, don't worry about what might happen. Worry about it when it does.
David, what do you think? So Coach K is saying practice risk management. What do you think?
I mean, he's right. Practice risk management. I just, you know, they put a Band-Aid on, you know, the economy in 2008. They put a Band-Aid on the economy in 2015, 17. Now, because 2 + 2 = 5 to me right now, because there's no way that you have 38 million people unemployed and the stock market's going and hitting at, you know, 30,000 points. And, you know, like, no, the rich are getting richer. But, like, that money's not real money. Like, to me, listen, we've printed out so much fucking money. At the end of the day, I'm sorry for cussing. This is just me. I apologize if I can't. But at the end of the day, I don't see the crash that you envision. But I do see it obviously pulling back at some point. You can't keep printing money. At some point, you gotta take the hit. You can't keep putting Band-Aids on this economy. You cannot keep putting Band-Aids on this economy. We've been doing it since 2008. That's it. We've done it 4 times. You got to let it go. You got to let it rip. And, you know, and then we go from there and figure it out.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but yesterday there was more talk around stimulus. I want to just pull out a tweet for you guys. I have it somewhere here. There was a tweet around. It came from Zero Hedge, and he was talking about more stimulus. And Mitch McConnell said they're not going to go on the December vacation unless they can pass a new stimulus bill. Now, that's pretty encouraging. That sent the gold price soaring. Gold went up like $30 between yesterday and today. And then, of course, Bitcoin went up on that. So I guess that is one of the things that's driving it, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. How much money, the people are getting what, another $600 per week, and then they're going to get another check of $1,200. That is nothing for the regular guy working the 9 to 5, the 9 to 9 now. That does shit for him. That does a lot though for Amazon, for Microsoft, from Apple, from Google. Yeah, they benefit, but the people that are the Main Street does not benefit at all from this shit. You imagine you live in New York, $600 is going to do what for you? Absolutely nothing. $600 is just like a taxi ride to 3 blocks down to onto the West Side Highway. No, we have to do something that is actually going to help people. Okay, and enough of this crazy talk. Listen, I love Bitcoin, but enough of people saying take the $1,200 and throw it into Bitcoin. You think the single mother with 3 kids is thinking about taking that $1,200 and throwing it into Bitcoin? There needs to be a better plan.
What do you want from the government? I mean, what do you think if you were in the Senate now, if you were passing these bills, what would you pass? What would you be lobbying for?
I'm in New York City. Okay, we are killing every single fucking business here. Like, we're not. New York City is no longer the New York City that was once vibrant with people walking and like tackling you for no reason. No, there's nobody out there. Dave Portnoy said it right. He said, the restaurant business or the businesses, they've done everything to go ahead and comply with COVID, right? They're getting shit in return. They're getting nothing in return. We need to come up with something where there's actual PPP money, an actual stimulus that helps these small businesses. Small business drives the United States economy, period. Okay? And the United States drives everything else. Let's be honest. So let's help the small businesses. Let's help them. Let's not go ahead and give them some petty cash. Yet give Amazon. Amazon made billions on billions of more dollars during COVID. Who are we saving? Amazon?
They benefited. In fact, all the small businesses are now at the risk of shutting down. I saw that in New York, there were protests from the restaurants. They want to close the restaurants. I guess the good news is that there's a vaccine. There are multiple vaccines which are now being rolled out. I saw that a few
I'm
people
not talking about that.
Because you're anti-vax, because you think that Bill Clinton and Fauci...
I'm not acting. I'm not. Absolutely not. I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm more so. It does not take 6 months to make a vaccine. I'm going to go with that route.
All righty. So you're one of the people that say, I'm not going to... So I take it you're not going to take the vaccine if it comes out now. You're not going to be standing in line. You're probably going to be like the Pfizer CEO and say you don't want to cut the line to get your vaccine.
Let me ask you a question. Why doesn't the Pfizer CEO take it?
He says he doesn't want to cut the line.
What about the kids?
No, cut it. Take mine. Yeah, take mine.
And if you believe that... All right, guys, we've got to be very careful talking about vaccines because otherwise what happens is YouTube actually just remove the video. They remove the video if you talk about vaccine. All right, David, I'm fascinated. I watch you on Twitter. I'm fascinated by your sentiment on coins. I guess the best way to get your sentiment on coins is to ask you what we ask all of our guests. These six coins are about to explode. If I were to ask you about your 6 favorite coins, the 6 coins that you think are going to explode, short-term or long-term, where do we start?
I'm starting, obviously. Let's start with Bitcoin. We can't forget about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's definitely. I'm going with end of year. I'm gonna go conservative and say 23,000 to 24,000. I know everybody's like 25, 30. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm gonna be conservative with it.
All right. So, Coach, he's saying 23,000 on Bitcoin. I think it's super conservative.
No, I was saying 2020, but he's only talking the end of the year, right? We're talking like a few weeks. And I had my levels around like 24.5, 22, 24.5, something around there. It's realistic. Could we smash it and go to 30K really quick and then come down hard? Yeah, we could. I said that last week, right? So these are possibilities. I know some of my whale buddies who've been in crypto since it was like a gaming industry in 2010. They were calling for 30K. So you never know for sure. We can speculate till the end of the day, but those levels are technical.
23,000 on Bitcoin. All right, let's David. Coin number 2 from you. I want to ask you a question. XRP. I noticed you post a lot about XRP. I guess you have a love-hate relationship with the token and with the community.
I love the community. I'm a realist. So I love XRP, but I'm not going to tell you that. Listen, I trolled the community. I went ahead and put up a tweet that said, XRP to $10,000 is real. Oh my God. I woke up, the Bitcoin maxis, they came after me. I've never seen so many cartoon characters attack me in my life. I had Oscar the Grouch. I had Big Bird. I had Baby Shark do come after me. It was amazing, but I'm more of a realist. I'm not out there, saying that we're going to hit 10,000. Listen, I said 10,000 because, I consider Dave Schwartz a very smart man, and he said the token was built to hit 10,000. That's not saying that it's going to hit 10,000. It was
10,
built.
It
built.
can be to hit whatever they want. I'm just waiting for $589.
Well, listen, I just got my membership. into the 589 club, so I'm not gonna go in. But I think honestly, it's gonna break its all-time high without a doubt. It's gonna smash the all-time high. I think it settles around. Oh, I hate price predictions. I'm gonna go with $7 to $8.
Forget about price predictions. I think I agree with you. I think they're useless. I don't think anyone's ever made a right price prediction. I've been the biggest culprit.
No.
All right, let's talk about another one, another protocol, which another coin. So you've got XRP, you've got Bitcoin. What else are we talking about?
I'm going after the most underrated blockchain platform in this space, and that is Cardano. That is ADA. I see ADA Cardano doing big things. If you're not, I don't understand how. No, I don't want to say nobody talks about it, but it is so undervalued.
It is undervalued. It is undervalued, and we've had Charles here. But not many people are building on Cardano. So you take Ethereum. Ethereum has lots of people building on it. You don't get that. You don't hear about that on Cardano. Now, I know that they're only now introducing smart contracts, and they now only doing all the big stuff. I guess now it's really the big test for Cardano. Cardano needs to actually get adoption.
But wouldn't you say well played to them, because they do it the Apple way, where like Apple's now rushing to go ahead and give you what Samsung has, right? Because Samsung already has things that are, Apple comes out with a new feature and it's been out already for 4 years, but Apple just makes it better. It just sounds better, and it is better than what.
So Cardano.
I'm sorry, Sam and Android fans. I'm sorry about that, but that's what Charles is doing. He's building it correctly, and when it comes out, it's not gonna have bugs. It's gonna just work, and it's gonna work better than whatever other stuff is out there. I'm gonna stop. I'm holding myself back from cussing so you don't get demonetized, because I appreciate you. So ADA, that's my other one.
So ADA, 3 more to go. Love it. I love this insight. I love hearing what you're talking about here.
I like VeChain. I think VeChain is also overlooked, because a lot of people are like, oh, but what does it really do? First of all, stop asking me what does it really do when you're jumping into no disrespect, but you're jumping into vegetable tokens. Okay, if you're jumping into vegetable tokens that were made 5 minutes ago, you really, really are doing yourself a disservice by not looking into the other stuff. And the other stuff being like VeChain has great partnerships. Like partnerships, that's the first thing I look for.
2 more coins, because we're running out of time. 2 more. Let's go.
Right, 2 more coins. Watch for Pack Global. Big on Pack Global. Obviously, I'm just saying, not promoting it. I'm just saying that you should look into the project. Look into the project, because we are better than Filecoin.
And we are, whether you are affiliated with the project or you're paid by the project.
I am. I'm not. I am affiliated with the project. I am the CMO, and I feel like I need to go ahead and finally say, you know what, guys, look into Pack Global. If you want to go ahead and,
all our viewers, you must know that David is affiliated with the project. He is the CMO of the project. 1 more token, David. 1 more token.
1 more token. Oh my God, I might get. Oh my God, can I? Okay, I'm gonna do Ethereum.
Alrighty, Ethereum. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Everybody is sleeping on Ethereum as well. Do not sleep on Ethereum. Do not sleep on Ethereum. It is.
I agree.
It is the foundation of the crypto space. If you do not
know, Coach K is not in Coach K. Let's not forget Ethereum here. Bitcoin's hit the all-time high. Ethereum is still at 1/3 of its all-time high. You ask me.
Next up. $740 next up, guys. That's what's
there. You go. I love that. Right there.
Yeah.
If you're not collecting Ethereum, get out the space. Like seriously. And if you talk about Ethereum, you have no clue what it's done for our ecosystem. Without Ethereum, we do not have. We're not having a conversation. Oh, we're talking about Bitcoin.
I agree.
Last thing before you kick me off, you were talking about RFI. You were talking about it earlier, right? Before I came on. That's a hell of a project.
Alrighty. All right. Right, so big project, big love to everyone. Guys, I can see you all in the waiting room. I see you all. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I think we've had our biggest show ever. We've had amazing guests. We've had Coach K. We've had David Gockstein, who calls himself on the chat Lord David. Dave, it's been amazing having you on. We must get on and talk more about governments and what they're doing. I'd love to get the pulse from New York City. I used to live in New York City before I moved to Miami, so love the city, but glad I'm not there at the moment. Awesome to meet you. Awesome to have you on the show. Coach K, it's been amazing having you. It's always good to have our chartist here, someone who's always so plugged in. And then a very, 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 very special thank you. And I'm going to call up the comments to all of you who are watching us live. I see all Dylan Carter, Jared Bandolf, Abdul, JR. I see you all here. Without you guys, the show wouldn't be possible. So big, big, big love to you guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as quickly as possible so we can get more people to watch this. I will see you again. I'll try and see you again on Friday. In fact, we are going to see you again on Friday. We have a huge, huge, huge show for you on Friday. We've got two of the biggest names in the industry. We have Charlie Lee from Litecoin coming on Friday, a big appearance. We've got him on coming on at 11 a.m. EST. We've also got Sam Bankman from FTX. And this is your chance to call them, to talk to them about what they're doing. Not sure how many other chances you will get to talk to guys like that or to call into guys like that. This is your show. You are the community. You drive the show. And so we're going to give you a chance to call in and speak to them. Alrighty, so I'll see you guys again on Friday. Until then, if you're trading, trade well, my friends. Let's hope that Bitcoin continues its run. Let's hope that there's great news coming out. Friday it is, right here on CryptoBanter.com.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.